Hello friends, our topic today is carbon and the carbon remedies. And as many of you know, I've been studying and thinking about the carbon remedies for quite some time. And what I discovered after many years of study actually was that you can't really look at carbon as an isolated topic. You have to look at carbon in its position in the second row of the periodic table. Otherwise it doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the deep sensation level that we try to speak in. So everybody knows that carbon is in the very center of the second row of the periodic table. And the second row has a lot to do with processes of fetal life and birth itself. It's got to do with being inside a womb or having to leave the womb or wanting to leave the womb. And it has a lot to do with the connection to the mother, where the fetus is completely connected to the mother, to the final stages after birth where you become totally separated from the mother. So carbon is right in the center of this process. It's the point at which birth is actually taking place. It's the point at which the fetus is turning into a child and coming out into the world, and all of what that means to a consciousness as they leave one location and enter into a whole new vantage point, a whole new world. So these are the aspects of carbon at the sensation level, which Rajan has explained to us in great detail in places like his book Structure, and also in our Wednesdays with Rajan lectures that he's given to us. This is, I would say, carbon at an almost microscopic, at a fundamental level, where we're seeing into the very most core experience of carbon. And this took amazing insight and intelligence for somebody to describe that, and we are in great debt to Rajan for bringing that forward, and of course to Jan Shelton, who brought together the whole picture of the periodic table. So this microscopic level of carbon is what we will not be talking about today, because it takes too much intelligence, and I want to give you something much more simple. So instead we're going to be talking about carbon from the macroscopic level, from just the general take of how a carbon patient will come in the door, what they'll say about themselves, what kinds of things they'll complain about, what type of people they'll be, things of that sort, which I think will give for many people a different perspective on carbon. And looking at things from this macroscopic level is often filled with clues to how to find or how to get the first step into seeing that a patient may need a carbon remedy. So that's what we're going to do today. And to do that, we're going to be using cases that have been long cured with carbon remedies for many years, and cases that we have taught. Most of these cases we found based on keynotes of those individual remedies, not on the basis of the sensation level at all. And yet what the patients reveal to us in these through their we could say almost a naive case taking, is a general impression of carbon. And I think that the first step that we have to take when we're trying to find a patient's remedy is just to understand that this is a carbon case. Once we know it's a carbon case, then we can start doing more sophisticated analysis to figure out, well, which carbon remedy is going to be most useful. We're not going to talk so much about that today. Instead, we're going to talk about this general presentation, how the patient comes in, what will strike you about the patient, and what are the big areas of concern for the carbon case. So that you can say, hey, this must be a carbon case. And once you get that step, then the next steps will come easier.